Today's video is going to be on the top 10 upcoming fighting games. Fighting games is my thing, so if you subscribe to this channel, expect more updates because I'm primarily going to be focusing on gaming. Number 10 is DNF Duel. It's an upcoming game being developed by Nexon and some of the Arc System Works devs. I don't know much about this franchise, but it looks promising, and you really can't go wrong with the Arc System Works. You know, once they get involved, the game's probably going to be dope. It has no release date, but it is assumed to be released sometime later this year or early or to mid 2022. Number 9 is Corrupt. Corrupt is an upcoming indie game being developed by seemingly 3 people, with Jesse Wright being the lead developer. I found his name on Twitter. The gameplay looks very interesting and impressive, especially considering that it's coming from relatively unknown developers. It currently does not have a release date, but I am looking forward to this because the art style looks amazing and the gameplay looks, like it could be something I can get into. One of the best parts about this game that it will be free to play, so I am excited about that. Number 8 is Meta Revolution. It's an upcoming game being developed by Next Studios with a cyberpunk robot aesthetic. I've been hearing a lot about this game for a while now, and I have been wanting to play it. Although the controls to me seem a little simplistic, I am looking forward to this game when it releases later this year or early 2022. Number 7 is a game that I've been watching for a while now. It's Blazing Strike. It's an upcoming 2D retro pixel art game from Rare Breed developers. I really like the art style. The gameplay reminds me of the games like in the 90s. It reminds me of Streets of Rage, but like in fighting game form, which I am totally into. The roster doesn't seem that large, which is to be expected from an indie game, but we can get our hands on it and see what it really plays like when it releases on all platforms sometime in 2022. Number 6 is Punch Planet. It's a game that is technically already out because it's in early access on Steam, but it hasn't been officially released yet. It's being developed by Sector Games, and it looks to be a competitive 2D sci-fi fighter that already has me on board because that seems like it's a dope idea. I like this game ever since I laid eyes on it, honestly, and it has really positive reviews on Steam, so that's promising. I'm looking forward to this game when it releases, even though it doesn't have an official release date, but it is expected to be released later this year or early 2022. Number 5 is Project L. Project L is the first AAA game on this list because it's coming from the studio that's behind the highly successful game League of Legends. This game is highly anticipated because the game is known for its quality of work and its, just really good art style. I haven't seen too much on this game because the developers are keeping it real tight-lipped about it, but what I have seen looks very promising, and the fact that it's rumored to be free to play really excites me. Don't expect this game anytime soon, as the developers are saying that they are, well away from finishing the game, but I expect this game to release probably late 2022 or early 2023. Number 4 is Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's a 3D fighter coming from the Connect 2 developers. It's an arena fighter kind of in the same vein of all the Naruto Storm games, so it looks pretty good. I had to put this game high on the list because Demon Slayer has really exploded in popularity in like the last year and a half, mostly because of the anime and the highly successful movie. Arena fighters really aren't my type of game, to be honest, because they usually lack depth and you really can't do too much but the same things over and over again, which really doesn't do anything for me. But the game does look pretty promising, and we can get our hands on it on all platforms because it releases October 15th this year, 2021. Number 3 is Phantom Breaker Omnia. It's a fast-paced 2D anime fighter being developed by Made Incorporated. It features over 20 unique characters, and it looks like a fighter that I would be totally into. The art style is great, and it looks like you can do a lot of combos, which is kind of my thing. I like, long combos in a very deep system, so it looks like it's gonna be pretty good. The gameplay looks very fluent and the systems look deep, which again, I am in love with. We can get our hands on this when it releases on all platforms sometime later this year. Number 2 is Multiblood type Lumina. This is probably one of the games on this list that I'm most excited about. It's being developed by French Bread with production assistance from Type Moon and Aniplex. The gameplay from what I've seen is very reminiscent of Dragon Ball Fighter, so you know that totally has me in. I just find the gameplay to be very fun looking. From watching the trailers online, it just looks like something that I would be having a lot of fun with. And probably if you like any game like Dragon Ball or Under Night In-Birth, you probably into the game as well. The art style is very anime and cool looking, and it looks very polished. I'm just really impressed by them, to be honest. We won't have to wait too long to get the smell of the game because it releases very soon at the end of this month on September 20th. The number one game on this list, as you probably guessed, is King of Fighters 15. This game needs no introduction because it's probably one of the most recognized fighting games like in history, in my opinion. It's being developed by SNK and is the 15th installment in a long legacy of King of Fighter games that stems back to the 90s. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I never really got into King of Fighter games when I was younger, mostly because nobody that I knew was playing it. We were mostly playing like 007 and shit, but I did want to play it. It's just, you know, I didn't have anybody to play with, and it seemed to be very hard. When I was young, I just wasn't really into harder fighting games, so that's mostly why. But I am very excited about this. I played SNK games before, so I know the gameplay is going to be fun, so I don't have to worry about that. But the fact that the visuals look very clean and the game looks polished is just, you know, icing on the cake. We won't have to wait too long for this, even though, you know, it was delayed, but it will be releasing next year, early next year, February 17th, 2022. I really want to know which games are you most excited about. Sound off in the comments below. This has been Prince, and I'm out.